Mortgage application is done.
Yeah.
Mortgage survey is done. Well, that's all been done. Searches have been done.
Yeah.
Next, obviously, as we've kind of touched on again previously, is inquiries. What's the kind of inquiries that they're asking? Because sometimes people think, why are you asking that silly question? And what's the point of the inquiries?
Sometimes there is no point in the inquiries. So what you'll find, a lot of conveyancing in our industry is done by what I like to refer to as sausage factory outfits, where they've got about 200 conveyancing assistants and one person who signs off all the work. And there's a huge degree of frustration that comes certainly from other conveyancers as well, because I'm talking to them now as I do. Some of their hearts sink when they see some of the usual culprits named, and they know that they're going to get a fairly standard set of inquiries which are just copied and pasted, and it's very clear that no one's read anything. But it's a way of them saying, we've raised inquiries, leave us alone for another 2 weeks. So that sometimes that's where maybe there are some fairly spurious inquiries out there. But like I said, it's stuff where there's a true inquiry. It's something where there's a genuine question that's impacting either maybe a potential legal liability for yourself as the new owner of the property.
So something like you mentioned earlier about the warm.
Yeah.
So have you got regs?
Yeah. Have you got buildings regs for it? It's stuff like, we see it all the time, old loft conversions which people use as a bedroom, but they're a complete death trap in the event of a fire. So you're not allowed to call it a bedroom. Whether you put a bed up there or not is
down to you.
My least favourite child up there. That's awful. I want to cut that one out. But it's where the council could come and say, you've got to remedy that work, like that pub that burnt down, the wonky pub,
the Crooked House.
Yeah, that the councilor said you have to rebuild that whole pub,
which is not going to be the same.
No, it's not, and it's going to cost an awful lot of money. But that's the point, really. Is it's stuff where there could be a potential legal liability a bit further down the line. It could also be something, again, which could affect the saleability of the home. Now, that is to protect you as the client and the new owner of the house. But one thing to remember as well, certainly if you're buying with a mortgage, your solicitor isn't just representing you. Your solicitor is also contractually obliged to represent the interests of your bank. So they're also protecting their bank's interest, Bank or Building Society, to make sure that there's not, nothing that affects the resale value of that property, or if there is something that affects the resale of that property, it's not severe enough to mean that actually it's so bad that they don't want to deal with it. So it's just making sure that liability, those legal liabilities, are minimised as best as possible, and it's as risk-free as possible for everybody.
So it's kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and making sure that everybody's comfortable.
Exactly right, yeah.